What's up, squad? To start out today's episode, just want to let you guys know, if you haven't heard the news, we are officially moving to Twitch full time. The full switch is going to occur sometime in the next week. Be sure to stay tuned to our social media to keep up to date. Our guest today is a good friend of ours from Mixer. She streamed on there. Until very recently, she also moved to Twitch. We got a chance to meet her in person at GuardianCon last year. She's dope as fuck. Enter JadeSilk. Welcome to the BxPerience.
Oh shit. Alright. We're live. What were you talking about before? We went live.
I was talking about how our fridge buzzes.
No, I meant before that. Like, oh, we're gonna talk about that. We should wait.
Oh, literally all we did was ask, how are you? So Jade, how are you? And then we said, we should wait.
How are you?
Full circle. Okay.
Yeah.
We've been good. We've been good. Just trying to get used to the quarantine lifestyle.
Yeah, I think we all are. To be honest, I feel like I kind of had a jump start because working from home, I'm so used to being here anyways. I'm pretty much it's not really that different, but it sucks that we can't just go like visit friends or go for dinner or something. That's the biggest thing.
That was the biggest thing. Like you were saying, it's not that like it's less that not being able to, but or like more just not having the option.
Yeah, it's more just not having the option. Like I'm home all the time anyways, but are you guys normally like pretty busy, or are you homebodies?
We're definitely homebodies. Yeah. I mean, I go out occasionally for groceries, and that's pretty much like all I do right now, especially after we moved.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's something about like there's something that I've really missed about going out and seeing people and hoping they don't talk to me. Like I just miss that experience.
It's actually hilarious because like I love people, but I hate people. I love people.
Yep.
I love people that I love.
Yep.
Right? But there's like just a lot of ignorant people out there. So it's so funny because I don't know, I almost miss the ignorant people.
Yeah, because that's the interesting part is at our core, we still want human contact.
Yeah.
Like, we're not solitary beings.
What was the last super social thing that you guys did before you started to stay home?
So at the very beginning of quarantine, we had someone staying with us because her house hadn't closed yet, and she was just kind of staying in Airbnbs, and it was one of Amore's work friends. And she insisted on going out to the mall to get like her appliances, and the quarantine had just started, so I was like, we're never hanging out with people again. I don't like people anymore. She's gonna bring the Rona home, and then we're gonna be screwed.
That's funny. We I think the last thing that we did where we like went out was Tiesto. We went to see Tiesto.
Tiesto in Toronto.
It was like Valentine's weekend. So that was like a couple weeks before everything hit the fan.
Yeah. And then when it did, we were like, man, what if like that was kind of risky?
Well, but even when we were there,
a couple thousand people.
Even when we were there, we were like, well, maybe it shouldn't be here because we knew it was coming, right? Like because
it hadn't hit here.
It hadn't hit here yet. But you knew it was coming based on like what you'd been seeing on the news. Yeah. So I remember like when we went down there, I think we were like, we're only gonna go for dinner and then we're gonna go to the club and like that's it. Like we're not gonna walk around. Like we're not gonna go anywhere that we are like extra, right?
And not gonna lie, like this isn't being racist or anything, but this is absolute fact. Is there's a lot of very rich Asian people in that area and in that club scene.
Oh yeah.
And like you're not allowed to smoke inside, but we were at the back part. So like this club has like a front main stage area and then a back part with like stripper poles. But and there's like
never been strippers there when we've been
there.
Not
when we've been there. But you just see groups and they're just smoking inside. They don't care because they basically own the damn place. And like I don't know.
the day before they could have been at home, right? They could have gone, or they could have gone to visit family,
gone to visit or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same token, like, there was still a very low chance at that point because not a lot of travel had really gone through. It hasn't really spread outside of China yet. I think at that point it was mid-February. So,
but thinking about it a few weeks after, it was like, man, like the whole club could have been infected like this. Everybody. So it's kind of crazy. I think it's kind of eye-opening to think about how like freely we like communicate and socialize with each other on a normal basis, because there are so many easy ways for like diseases and illnesses and stuff to like transmit when you never think about it.
Oh yeah.
Unless somebody's like sneezing in your face.
Yep.
Well, Joe Rogan was talking about his kid. I think she's 9 or 11 or something. Yeah. Was playing Plague Inc. before this all happened.
Oh yeah, I mean I played that years ago.
And I remember you played. Did you ever play Plague Inc? That like mobile game?
Mm-mm.
So it was a mobile game that you
create a virus.
You create a virus and you try to spread it through the entire world. And it's funny because you were saying like a lot of the things that happen, like big events shutting down, sporting leagues shutting down.
Yeah, there's like a news feed. There's like a news feed that runs across the game, like as you're doing stuff. It's like you can speed it up or slow it down or whatever, but it'll be like so and so country closed their borders, or they're doing this or that, and it's like all this stuff that I'd seen happen in the game. I started seeing happening in real life, and I was like, oh my god,
that's real. Oh my god,
that's scary.
And the one country that was hardest to infect was Greenland.
Greenland never got infected,
and they only had like 8 cases, or I don't know, something ridiculously low.
So it's actually it was kind of crazy how like accurate the game was in spreading this thing. You'd see actually there'd be little planes and boats and stuff like on the screen that would travel, and you'd see it go from like one place and all of a sudden it would start infecting here. And if you made the virus too aggressive, then the doctors would catch on that it was serious earlier on and develop a vaccine, and it wouldn't wipe out the world. And it was like it was very, very like dark game.
Well, it's also
that probably has to make you feel really scared. Like
I think now I feel like now it's been what, a month and a half, 2 months that all this has been going on at least.
Yeah, March, April. Yeah.
So, and we've known about it since December. So I mean, we're still here.
Yeah,
everything seems to be going okay.
People will get through it. It's still.
I think it was more scary when it first happened, and you started to see things shut down. And it was like, go home, stay home. Like, we're closing all these businesses. It's like, well, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Nothing like
or
this has
heard
ever
anything
happened.
like this, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And even...
I mean, I'll be...
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking that, like, I don't know. The fact that a virus is spreading isn't the most terrifying part to me. Because, like, I feel like as the human race will bounce back, like... Yep. We're a very resilient Earth, and
100%.
We'll do anything that we can to survive. But I think the scariest part is the people who were protesting, because like
that's wild.
I just don't understand. Like that's literally counterproductive to us trying to survive.
I don't get it. I saw a picture of someone with a sign like "We need haircuts" or something. I'm like, come on, like.
Oh my god! Do y'all watch Handmaid's Tale?
That blows my mind.
No. I've heard good things about it though.
Yeah. Well, that show really scares me for like the world, because if we ever got to that point, it would be terrifying.
Yeah.
And so like when people start protesting like that and trying to go against something that just seems so normal and so, just the basis of survival, I go back to that and I'm like, God, what the potential for our world to actually get that bad. It's there, and that scares me.
So the fact that people like legitimately believed that they should inject themselves with Lysol makes me a little concerned.
Well, the fact that so many people had to say not to actually do that.
Yeah.
Like I saw a post from doctors, posts from like articles written like, do not do this. I'm like, the fact that you actually have to.
You know what I think it is though? I mentioned this to you, I think last week, Pete, or earlier this week. I said like, even as content creators, like we have a social responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just say whatever you want without consequences. Like you should be using your platform for good and to help, like support those ideas.
Right.
So like the fact that like a leader with that much power would say something without thinking about the repercussions, like people look up to you, people believe what you say, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what your credentials are. Like people are like, he's not a doctor, but people believe that he's in contact with doctors.
He's the president,
right? So like I don't know.
He's got no responsibility at all, and the people that
No.
follow him also do not have any. They don't take any responsibility. I don't
He's
think
It's wild.
a loose cannon.
That's
crazy.
wild. I don't want to
It's
spend too
wild.
much time talking about that because, but
The only thing I
I
wanted
just
to say
couldn't
about
believe it that people believed that was a good idea.
the only thing I can say about the protests is like that's kind of Darwinism, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna spread easier through those people that are out in the streets protesting and like assaulting healthcare workers. That's the stupidest shit.
Yeah,
I've
for
ever
real.
seen.
For real.
So-
So, you moved kind of recently, right? How far did you
Yes.
go? Did
So
you,
we moved to Oklahoma, so it's about 16 hours. 16, maybe 14 hours. It's
Okay.
right above
That's pretty
Texas.
far.
Yeah.
From where you were before? That's pretty far.
Yeah, we were in the panhandle of Florida. So we were right at the
Wow.
top of Florida.
Yeah.
That little piece that goes a little to the left into the Gulf.
Yeah.
That's where we were. And then now we're in Oklahoma. We're in the middle of actual nowhere in the States.
I'm looking at a map.
Wow. Yeah,
I'll be honest. I can
geographically
barely keep
challenged with
track of the
states.
12 provinces or whatever that's in
11.
Canada.
11.
I,
There's
like,
11. There's 11.
So there you go. There's 11. There's no way I'm keeping track of the 50 whatever states. So, anyways, so that's okay.
It's
So
right,
how
right beside Arkansas. That's how you say that, right? Arkansas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Arkansas, Pete. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
They are the main
shit.
traders of sauce there. It's true.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
So how are you finding like that? That seems like a pretty big change. Like
It
weather
is.
must be different and everything, right?
Yes. So we are no longer worried about hurricanes. Now we're worried
That's
about
nice.
tornadoes. We actually
That's
have
not as
like a
nice.
storm shelter.
Really?
We've only really had like one scare where we've been, maybe we should stock our storm shelter with some water and tuna fish because
Yeah.
but what I think is super weird is I have friends all over the States, and a lot of them have been experiencing the same weather. Super windy, lots of rain. We had hail recently. Apparently we're getting into tornado season. But I will take all of this over the humidity of Florida.
Oh, I believe that. I hate the humidity so much. It's terrible.
When we get
can't
there,
stand it.
I'm like, yeah, hot weather, Florida
And then within a couple
vacation. And then
days,
when I'm leaving Guardian Con, I'm like, fuck, where's Canada?
Get
Get me
here.
back to that weather. Not because I hate Florida as far as like, like being there. Like it's always such an awesome trip, but like the heat, and I love the heat, but it's something else.
Yeah.
That's
like,
just
it.
get me somewhere I can
else.
breathe.
Yeah, pretty much.
For sure.
I remember actually the first Guardian Con that we went to when it was in Brandon, I believe.
Yeah.
We had rented an Airbnb, and I actually remember the last day we were the last people in our Airbnb, and we took a shower, and then we sat outside and we were waiting for like our we did like a live stream off our phone. Okay, like off like a just I don't know, a Samsung. And the phone overheated from the
shut the
humidity
stream off.
and shut off.
And we're sitting in chairs on the patio, not moving at all, doing a live stream, dripping
in sweat
We had
after
just showered
taking
and
a
we're just
shower.
like,
I couldn't
That's
believe it.
terrible.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. It was so hot.
That's interesting going from the risk of hurricanes to the risk of tornadoes. But like hurricanes are like a sure thing. You're gonna get a hurricane every like whatever. And tornadoes are kind of a sure thing, but they're also very RNG. You have no idea where they're gonna hit. They could slide right by your house and not even touch you, or they could tear your house apart.
I had one.
It's like-
I wasn't
That's crazy.
home. I think I was actually with my grandparents on their boat, but we had a tornado go by my house where my parents live, like right beside the house, and it like tore down like some trees and like
oh my god,
that tree that's the stump that's on the front yard.
Yeah.
That tree got
that close.
Yeah, that close.
Oh my gosh.
That's and it was like my sister's bedroom is like up.
Yeah.
That the tree fell forward towards the lawn, but if it had fallen backwards, it would have fallen on my sister. She was at home.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was wild. Like tornadoes are crazy, and we don't we don't really get that kind of stuff here in Canada very often.
At least for a hurricane, you can kind of plan for it because they're following them for days. Tornadoes,
well, they just pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
You have no idea. I mean, we've all watched Twister, right? Have you seen Twister? Guessing you've seen Twister.
I haven't seen that movie in time. You know what one of my favorite movies is actually A Day to or not A Day to
Remember. That's a great band,
The Day After Tomorrow. The Day After Tomorrow. I like that movie. I used to watch that all the time.
All I think of it's been so long since I've seen that movie. All I can think of with The Day After Tomorrow is the boat that's frozen and there's wolves.
Yeah,
wolves are chasing them. That's my recollection of that movie. I don't remember anything else from it, honestly.
There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens.
Oh no, that's 2012. Remember that movie?
I don't actually think I've seen that one, to be honest.
I don't think I've seen that either.
I heard of it and I wanted to watch it, but I feel like I just never.
End of the world because the Mayan calendar ended.
Oh.
Because 2012 was the last year on the Mayan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like 2000, everything was going to collapse because computers wouldn't know how to go from 1999 to 2000. Come on.
Ridiculous.
Like so ridiculous, right?
It was like legitimate fear over that, though. I don't know what, I haven't really researched it that much, but
some crazy person probably was just like, and then like everybody was like, oh, you're right.
Totally possible. We have no idea.
Yeah, we have no idea.
And here we are in 2020. Still don't have flying cars or anything.
That's upsetting.
What was that movie? iRobot? What year was iRobot?
Google that shit.
Yeah, 1 second, because that's actually one of my favorite movies too.
I think it was 2020 or like 2022 or. Click on the wiki, and then click on plot. 2035 in 15 years. Hey, 15... you know what? That might still happen.
It could be possible.
15 years.
It better.
We could have.
We haven't even figured out how to make electric cars go very far yet.
Well, they're pretty far now, like 400 miles. 500 miles on a charge. That's pretty far.
I don't know about flying cars. These cars, like in this movie, I remember they're Audis.
They're like floating cars.
They're like floating cars, yeah. And
to be fair, the best argument I've heard against flying cars is they'd be noisy as shit. And no one would really want them anywhere. Imagine if your neighbor's like, let me fly my flying car and like drive by your house.
The other thing
we have motorcycles.
The other thing is thinking about like boating and kind of like the way of the sea and how people navigate that. Like the air would be the same thing. People would just be going all over the place.
Yes, that's the other thing is like you can't restrict where people are gonna drive. You're gonna have people flying into each other.
Yeah,
like a head-on collision.
The only thing that I could think of is
little worse than on the ground.
If it was like kind of like almost like
Star Wars,
the trains.
Yeah, like
where you like hover off like roads.
They have like pylons in the air. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know.
They have to create air currents or something.
Yeah, something. I don't know if it really seems.
Then you have Rambo over there with his like modified, chipped out diesel flying car. With stacks on it.
Jeez.
The killer base system in the back.
Yeah, he's got something in the back.
So what games have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky and Warzone. It's pretty much. I've been.
How's Warzone?
Very dedicated.
We finally downloaded
it the other day.
I've heard it's hard.
I kind of want to try it
to learn, and then it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely got a little bit of a learning curve because they've made it a lot more interesting than a lot of the BRs that exist right now.
Cool.
Which I'm really happy about because I feel like BR was getting to a point, like the genre was getting to a point that it was overplayed, overdone. Yep. But they've added a lot of features that make it more interesting. Yeah. So like in game you have different contracts that you can pick up that keep you busy while you're actually playing the BR. Yeah,
and
the
do you
different
earn money or
things.
like a currency? Yeah, that's
yes,
cool.
Yes, so there's cash in the game, and cash is important for you to buy like airstrikes, UAVs, different perks like that. And then you can also get a loadout. So loadout drops come in the game for free, but you can also buy them. That's where you can make your own loadout before you go into the game. And
that's
then
cool.
You get additional perks and stuff. So you can kit out, a specific gun or something that you like using. And when the loadout drop comes in, you can pick it up.
That's pretty lit. That you know what? That seems like it fits well with the way that COD plays.
Yes.
Like that's what I would expect from like a COD BR. Yeah. I have two questions. One,
I do have two questions too.
How do you think that it compares to the first whatever one that was the first one that they did?
Oh,
the Black Ops one?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't play it, but from what I heard from a lot of people, this is a big improvement on it.
Good.
I mean, they're two different teams, right? So they're very different. Graphics are different. I think Blackout still has some like long distance hiding behind trees gameplay, kind of like PUBG.
Yeah, yep.
This game is not like that. This game is way more focused on close quarters combat. And even if you're out in the open, it's way more tactical and strategic.
That's cool.
There aren't big trees that you can hide behind. And there's RPGs.
We
so
played
there's not a lot of cover.
We played like maybe 3 games of Blackout. And I remember being like, this is so slow and I can't see people because they're so far away and I'm just dying from things. And it just was frustrating. It was slow and frustrating.
It was slow until it was fast. Yeah. And then when it was fast, it was over.
Yeah.
Like there was no like recovering. It was like if someone saw you first, it was like, oh, well, not much you could do.
So I guess my second question is like we played Apex for a bit, and our one concern with Apex was that it felt like the game almost needed too much like focus and attention. Like it was really hard to interact with chat because if you looked away for a second, like you were kind of done. Is it kind of like that or?
So I actually switched from Apex to Warzone. I was playing a lot of Apex before, so I really enjoy Apex. But I can understand why that would be the case with Apex because the map is smaller.
Yeah.
And there's very little time between a battle.
Yeah.
Because the map is smaller and the circle moves so quick. Now with Warzone, you definitely it's a shooter, so you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
But the map is much larger and there's more teams.
Okay.
That being said, there have been times where I've been like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, y'all cover me. And I've gone and come back and nothing happens. So like there are places where you can hole up and pause for a second and talk to chat and then get back into the gameplay.
That's good. Because the one thing we really liked about Fortnite was the fact that like we could like jump around, whatever, and we were like looking for people and talking to chat, and then like somebody shoots at us and it's like, oh, snap. Box up, build a wall, and like all of a sudden you have cover and you have like a second to like
put shields on and then like get ready for the fight.
Like get ready for the fight. And I think that's, I mean, apart from the fact that Fortnite's just mega silly and you can have fun with it, like it was nice that you could just create cover wherever you wanted, because I feel like that works really well with
except for
chat.
constant redeploy, because then people just fly on you.
Well, that was a whole other thing.
That's a whole other
but no, Warzone sounds
good,
promising.
That sounds really cool.
Did they make an update to No Man's Sky? Like there was new content or something, right?
Yes.
Pete had questions. I'm sorry.
Sorry, before we move on from Warzone, I've heard like the gulag thing, that like there's like a pit that if you die you can like 1v1 or something and then come back. Is that how that works?
So
that's cool.
So the first time you die, you have an opportunity to come back. So what happens is, let's say you're a team of 3, for example, and 2 of your teammates die. Those 2 teammates are going to go to the gulag, then they're going to fight a 1v1 random weapon. So it's usually between a deagle, 2 different types of shotguns, and a 6-shooter. Okay. So it can get intense. I often die a lot in the gulag, so it sucks. But that being said, if you die in the gulag and you still have a teammate alive, they can actually go and buy you back.
Oh, okay.
So people are also buying their teammates back over and over and over in the game. But they made it so because I know that sounds very redundant, like it's going to get really annoying to have teammates constantly coming back, but like endgame, there's not usually a store. You can only buy your teammates back in a store, and the gulag closes at a certain point. So if you die after the gulag closes, your teammate can only buy you back, and there's probably not a store. So like,
cool.
They really balanced end gameplay really well, because the battles feel like super intense, and you have what you have, and that's it.
That's sick.
Yeah, it sounds fun. The more you're talking about it, the more I'm like, man, we should try this like today.
My only other question is, I want to try it today, honestly. One, is there like finite ammo? Like, do you have to pick up ammo? And then a follow-up question is like, how's the looting system? How you pick stuff up?
You do have to pick up ammo. And your loadout drop, you know, the one where you create your class and you can pick up your class from it, it does not have ammo in it. It just has a class. So let's say that you just died and came back and landed on a loadout drop, because that's a tactic a lot of people do. You're not going to have any ammo. You always get the clip that's in your gun. That's it.
Yeah, and that's it.
But there are ammo crates randomly sprinkled around the world, and you can buy munitions boxes, which are also, they'll fill up your ammo, and you find ammo all over the world. The looting, a lot of the looting is, so there's random ammo boxes and weapons around the world, not ammo boxes, but like little loot things of ammo that you can pick up around the world. But there are crates everywhere. So every crate is going to have probably ammo, a weapon, a perk, or not a perk, but like they have little extra perks like dead silence, drones, trophy systems, and deployable cover that you can pick up in those boxes. And then you also have contracts that you can pick up that are boxes that will spawn around the world that you just have to go to, with the opportunity to get special loot at the end. So like a gas mask or something like that.
Sick.
Yeah,
sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It sounds super fun.
It does.
It is.
I mean, I know you haven't really been playing Destiny. We've been playing a lot less than normal.
It's just,
it's just not. It's not as great as it has been in the past. I'm sure that they'll figure it all out eventually, but
there's other games to play.
There's definitely other games to play. So yeah, we've got a lot of things that we've been looking forward to playing. I've heard Remnant from the Ashes is really, really good. That just got put on Game Pass recently, so we picked that up. Or it was a free gold game. I'm not sure, but
from what I understand, it's like a Dark Souls shooter. Person multiplayer.
Well, I mean, like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is that, like, I mean, as I'm sure as you know, because you and Amor play together too, like, there's just not as many co-op games. Yeah, like, it's kind of harder to find co-op games sometimes. So, and especially when we both mostly are like pulled towards shooters when we play together.
Like PvP
stuff, but like,
I mean, there's a lot of PvP stuff, but like,
there's not a ton that, like, I don't know, I can play for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And we do, like, I do want to play more like co-op story stuff. We've really enjoyed them in the past, but like, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, like
on the caliber of like A Way Out.
Yeah, things like A Way Out.
Like, those are the two that I think of.
So there's one more that we haven't played. It's called We Were Here, and I've heard really good things about it. And it was free, so we can pick it up.
Yeah, okay.
But I was reading about that, and I think that is along the lines of A Way Out. Same kind of thing where you have to. It's like puzzles you have to complete together. But like, you can only do it if both you work together. I like games like that. They're kind of neat.
Yeah, those are fun.
But it's harder for sure. So, but I think there are actually like a lot of games coming out or supposed to be coming out. I don't really know if they're coming anymore because I don't know how much has been delayed.
You know, how much?
A lot, But they'll be here eventually.
Yeah.
Games are like 3/4 of the way done, and they'll finish it eventually. So I guess are we ready for the big topic?
Yeah, let's hop into that. You recently moved from Mixer to Twitch,
or are moving very soon, right?
Yeah. Yes. So I had my last Mixer stream Thursday. So the move is official now, starting on Tuesday.
Exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're
we're doing the same thing. So what have been your thoughts through this like process?
So it was definitely a really hard decision to make, because, you know, always at the forefront of my mind is my community, and like the fact that they have, and I know y'all have been through this too because you switched previously as well. The fact that they have supported me just through this journey of like figuring out where I want to be, where home is, and who I am as a content creator. I'm always scared that they'll feel like I'm too frivolous, you know, with my decisions, you know, having to move back to another platform. That's a really big decision, and that's a really big move. And I never wanted the people who actually switched over from Twitch to Mixer to a different platform to feel like that wasn't appreciated, because it always is. And the fact that people would even consider doing that is pretty amazing. But I got to a point where I felt like, because for a while I was streaming to both Twitch and Mixer at the same time. I was using Restream. And I felt like I needed to make a decision, because like splitting your time, you're splitting your efforts, streaming is really hard. And like learning the platform that you're on is so important. And if you're trying to learn two at once, it's like impossible. It's information overload. It's too much. And Twitch and Mixer work very differently. So like you're using one strategy to grow and try to be successful on one platform, and then a totally different strategy on a different platform
at the same time while you're restreaming.
That's a good point.
I feel you. I feel you.
And it's a lot.
It's a lot. We restreamed for probably about a month. Near the beginning of the year, and it was like, okay, like we actually emailed Twitch and dropped our affiliate, so because you're technically not supposed to, whatever. And I was like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. So we dropped our affiliate, we got that removed, and then we were restreaming, and we had like the restream bot. I saw that in your chat too, where it like relays the chat. And I was like, oh, that seems like a cool idea, but then it like looks so foreign. Like on the Mixer side, it like looks so messy, and there was no way to like change the way it looked or make it look like a little neater. And the reality was like, why would anybody from Mixer open up our Twitch stream unless they couldn't watch us on Mixer? So then it was like we had like 3 viewers on Twitch and like our normal viewers on Mixer. And then, like, if you have 3 viewers on Twitch, you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? You're just not really discoverable. So that's when we decided to switch to 1 day a week on Twitch, and we were doing that. We did that for probably about a month or 2 as well, month and a half, something like that. It was like 4 or 5 streams. And that was like, okay, like on this day, we're only here. And at that point we had, you know, like a bunch of people come over, and then all of a sudden, hey, new people coming into the stream from Twitch. Nice. So like that was the kind of like, I feel like we just felt much more comfortable doing that. For sure.
And even that, you know, you're splitting your time.
Sorry, can you say that again? I apologize. I had to reset something.
Oh, I was just saying, even that, you're splitting your time. And like, you know, that's a very, very valuable commodity when you're streaming. I mean, it takes a lot of time to do everything that is needed, and when you have one extra day, a day is a lot.
A day is a lot. Well, and then we decided that we were gonna just drop the Twitch stream, and that was probably like a few weeks ago. We were trying to fit it in on Sunday because we didn't want to like drop our hours on Mixer to anything lower than they were. So we were basically adding in a day. And then we realized like Sundays for us is usually like get the YouTube stuff together for the week, like figure out our schedule. Like normally we record the podcast on Sunday and edit that. And so it's very much like doing back end stuff most of the day.
And we're running low on time on that. And like, things, and it's like,
and then it's like, well, if we're gonna stream on Twitch for a day, like I want it to be like 6-7 hours at least, like once a week. I don't want it to be like 3. Like an evening thing.
And then it was like, if we're gonna stream on Twitch for 1 day, we're kind of forced to only stream our main game with Destiny.
It felt like we had to play Destiny, because like why would we do like bits and pieces of like this story game or that game, like, and then do the rest on it just felt really messy and weird. So
it, like half-assed too, which it kind of was.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of.
Yeah.
So it just didn't feel. It didn't feel right. It felt like if we're gonna do something, like I just want to do it right. Like I don't like feeling like I'm not really able to put in like my full energy or full effort or anything. So it's been a road for sure. So how are you? How are you feeling? Excited? Nervous?
Honestly, I'm feeling really good. I got to the point where y'all of what you were just talking about, where like your effort, you can kind of tell where you're putting most of your effort, and then the other thing kind of turns into like this half-assed project, and it's like I don't want it to feel that way.
Yes.
But right now, I mean, it has been really, really great. I came back to Twitch in January. Yeah. I had been solely on Mixer before that. And since then, I've been doing a lot of like soul searching for what kind of variety caster I really want to be. I've been kind of like all over the place with what games I play, and because I really like indie games, and it's hard to grow with indie games.
Yes.
And also I love them, but they've made me almost diversify my content too much, if that makes sense. You know? Because you want to play a 2-hour indie game, and then you're going to play something else that week, and then you're probably going to play something else, and it's too much.
It's a lot. Yep, for sure. Yeah. Actually, so I have a ton of, like, Game Pass for me has been amazing. Because, like, you have it, it's there at your fingertips, you can download games, you can try them. If you don't like them, meh, whatever, delete it, move on. It's not a big deal. It's not a big investment. So what I've actually been doing with like smaller games like that is I started playing them offline and recording them and putting them on like as for like YouTube playthroughs. So it's like I can enjoy them, but it's if people want to watch them, whatever, they can watch them. It's kind of just me like taking time to enjoy something for myself, and then also like it's content if people want it to be content. I've only done one of them so far, but I did What Remains of Edith Finch, which was about 4 hours, and it was a great game. And so many people had told me to play it, and I'm actually really glad I played it offline, because it's like you can be more involved in like the story and what's happening, because you're not I mean, I don't want to say chat distracts me, but chat distracts me because it's another thing, right? So like I can just be more invested in what's happening in the game and like be like, whoa, like actually react like fully to it. So it's been kind of cool to do that.
That's awesome. That's such a great way to do it.
I know exactly what you're saying though, because there was a time 100% where like I didn't know what to do, because when we went full time last November.
Yeah, November, December of 2000.
Or a year and a bit ago, not like like
2018.
It was like I went in and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna play Destiny, basically, right? Like, and then you start playing 40 something hours of Destiny a week, and you're like, oh my god,
I don't want to play Destiny.
I don't want to play Destiny anymore. Right? So like I was like, what am I gonna play? Because I had never really had like time, I guess, to really do it. So I started like picking up this game and that game and like I was so variety that like I didn't even know what I was playing. You know what I mean? What am I playing today? I just like be like, oh well, this one, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm done with that, and I'd pick up something else. And I think like it just got to a point where I realized like I'm literally digging my own grave right now, because as much as like there are a lot of people that will support you regardless of what you're doing, it's nice for people to kind of know what to expect as far as kind of like the types of content you're going to do. So 100%, like there is a little bit of a method to the madness for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there is something to be said about how like you can really only get good at very few things. Being good at many different things is tough. And that goes like, that's kind of similar with how people view content creators in general. Like when you think of I don't know, just any celebrity really that creates content regardless of what it is, like I don't know, Johnny Depp, fantastic actor, but you think of him as an actor that does a Johnny Depp style of production, and then you think of like I don't know, like a DJ, well they do a specific type of music. that you think they're really good at, and that's what you think of them for. Not like I've seen, like, even just a random example with music is I think it was called Dog's Blood, was by Skrillex, and he kind of tried to branch out a little bit, and you see that a lot with music. They try to branch out into different genres and stuff, and it usually just doesn't go as well. So I think like getting some sort of, like, because I think what has been a game changer that we kind of in hindsight look back and realized is that the variety formula, we should patent that. We should patent that. But with just like having a main game or two and then mixing the variety in, like, in doses, so that you're not so spastic, so it's not so like all over the place.
And that's kind of what I've started doing. You know, streamers talk a lot about consistency, and usually it's about when you stream, and how often. They don't talk about consistency of brand, which I think is really, really important, and it's something that you learn along the way. But it would be nice if people talked about it more, because then we'd know more, like, oh, I should be, me as a brand, I want to be associated with these kinds of games. I want to be associated as this kind of gamer. And it's hard to find that. It's hard to find that perfect balance of you know, game type and content.
Personality, content. It definitely, and that's definitely something that it has its multifaceted challenges, because especially when you're starting out, one, you don't know, a lot of people don't know who they are in general, and like what kind of person they are, what kind of, like, exactly what kind of stuff they like doing and are good at what sort of content. And then on top of that, if you're a lot of people, when they start streaming, they're trying to be successful. And when they're like, okay, I want to be successful, how do I do that? Well, you're going to hear a lot of noise saying, be like this person, do this stuff, stream these games, act like this, do this, and
stream
much noise
every day, all day.
You have no idea what actually works, and there's so many different ways to do it that it's definitely very confusing. But
and what works for you won't work for everyone either.
Right?
Exactly.
That's the crazy part, is like, it doesn't, there's no like formula to success, the guaranteed success in this industry. Like,
it's interesting because the only, I guess you could say, guaranteed is something that's been around forever, which is be really fucking good. And like get on an esports team, like get on a big org, be successful with skill, because that's a very linear thing. It's one thing. Like, you don't have to have a personality. You could have the personality of wood, but if you're winning the World Cup every year in Fortnite, people are gonna like watch you and give you money. So
that's fair.
That's very true.
That's very true.
I think that'd be the only like proven one, because other than that, most content creation is based on your personality and how much people like watching your content.
Yes, very true.
Very different ways to do that.
So sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, going back to something that you mentioned about success and what is success in this industry. A lot of people, and I was guilty of this myself, I wanted partnership. Partnership was like the ultimate level of success. And a lot of people say, well, what comes after that? And it's like, I don't know how to plan for that. I have to plan for partnership. That's the most important thing. And, you know, I felt like I owed it to myself. I felt like I owed it to my community, because I felt like, you know, we've all been putting work into this for me to be partnered. And I had been streaming. This year is going to mark my 4th year streaming. And I'm like, the thing that I was most scared about was to get to the end of this year and think, what do I have to show for it? You know, on both platforms, what do I have to show for it? And that was one of the big reasons that I had originally switched to Mixer, was because Mixer recognized you as a brand, and I felt like I had that down. Like I made a brand. I was great on social media. I'm gonna get this partnership, and then it was really hard just to get 2,000 followers. It was hard to get there, and so like Mixer turned into a long haul. It's like I'm wanting this success, but also I'm wanting to see what Mixer turns into, because it's a platform that I think is really cool and has the potential to do really great things. my perspective has changed a lot in that regard. That is why I ended up making the switch, because like my idea of success has changed. I don't know if partnership is the main goal anymore. It's not. I think the main goal is to just stream and see what comes out of it, you know, and move from there. I think a lot of people are really afraid to fail.
Yes.
And failure is the only way to, it's okay if failure is the only thing you have to show for something, because it means you tried and
yes, exactly.
you did something.
So exactly. I think it's kind of interesting because I mean, there was definitely a point where, like, on Twitch before, like, way back in Destiny 1, like, we were, like, aiming for Twitch partnership. Like, that was, like, a major goal. And then we, like, took a bunch of breaks, whatever, and we ended up on Mixer, and we weren't even, like, I don't think... When we started on Mixer, like, it wasn't even, like, it'll be easy to get partnered here. Like, I don't think we really had thought about that much.
No, that wasn't even really...
Like, it was just like, oh, let's try it out. And then it was, like, super fun. And, like, we really enjoyed the platform. And then we were like, okay.
And then, like...
We just, like, stayed.
And then, the momentum stayed high.
Yeah.
And then we realized that we qualified for partnership. And we're like...
We actually didn't apply, like... for
right away. We delayed it about a month or two.
We delayed it like a month or two after we were like technically eligible, because we didn't feel like we deserved it.
It was kind of crazy because our first, I don't know if you heard this story, but like our first stream on Mixer, we didn't announce it, we didn't like plan a switch, nothing. We were just like, let's try it. So we just went live on Mixer on a Saturday, just out of the blue,
like tweeted that we were on Mixer,
and we peaked at like 100 something followers because we're up and coming
viewers
up and coming, featured on the front page, hype zone, and we got like 400 follows in one day, and we're like,
yeah, we were like, wow, what is this?
Okay, what is this? This is crazy. So we just kept going and just stayed on. We didn't even go back to Twitch.
We never went back to Twitch.
So
we didn't even announce the Switch. Like,
I can kind of understand. We just
started streaming on Mixer.
Now that I think about it, I can kind of understand how people didn't realize we switched from
so
Twitch
many
to
people
Mixer
didn't realize we switched
for like 2 years because we didn't say anything. We just like disappeared off the face of Twitch.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
but that actually wasn't even the rant or the
no.
Where I was going. What I was gonna say is you were talking about partnership and how that was something that like a lot of people see as like the end goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when we announced the other day that we were switching, somebody actually commented on our post and said something along the lines of like, really disappointed to hear this. I'm curious as to why you would leave somewhere where you're partnered for somewhere you're not.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about that really quick because like my response was basically like, there's a lot more to content creation than partnership, and we are extremely grateful for everything that Mixer's given us. Being Mixer partners and being part of the platform and being able to, you know, give feedback and kind of know the direction they're headed in and have like all that kind of insight and be able to kind of like shape the platform was really, really cool. It has been awesome. And I think that that's something that, you know, you don't necessarily see on the Twitch side because of the pure size of the platform and the fact that they're already developed, right? Like they're already established, whereas like Mixer's kind of finding their way. So it's been really cool to be part of that and be part of this like really kind of close-knit community where you have interactions with employees and even like the founders. But it's
on the same token, it's exactly like you said, where you were like, oh, this is more of a long-term you know, perspective of a platform, because we felt the same way, where it just felt like what we were waiting for is waiting for the platform to grow.
Yeah,
like there's not much we could do, just keep doing what we're doing and see how it goes, basically see how it plays out. Like there wasn't much more that we could do other than constantly try and improve our content. But
I think that eventually they might get there.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great platform. I think that the whole, like, they stand for really great things. They're all about community. That's what they want, is it to be a close-knit, safe community. Like all across Mixer. Like, and we believe in the same things, right? And I feel like that's where we were really pulled towards the platform, was kind of just what it was all about. But I mean, we don't have the next however many years it takes for it to get to where we need it to get to continue to do what we do. And at the end of the day, I think that's just kind of what it comes down to. Love the platform, love the people, love everything that that we've done while we've been there. And it's not to say we won't come back. Like, honestly, I have no idea.
Who knows? It's the future's so uncertain.
No idea.
But the one thing I keep saying, but I think it's really important, and the one thing I'm excited for the most is to take what we've learned in the past 2 years and apply it to Twitch, because we never did. Like, back when we were originally on Twitch, we were terrible. We were not good streamers. It's like, I don't know what we were doing, but it wasn't right. it wasn't the correct path.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting to try it out back there.
There wasn't really, we had no like schedule, no consistency. Like, all we did was play Trials and Destiny. Like, we never did anything else.
No.
We didn't. I mean, like, we chatted with people. We had a community, but we didn't.
It wasn't the same.
It was not even close to anything that we've done in the last 2 years. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Definitely nervous at the same time, but I think it's going to be a fun time. I also, there's so many, like, there's so many new things that have been added to Twitch since we left.
When we left Twitch, it was basically where Mixer is now,
right?
Almost, as far as features.
Competition breeds innovation, right? Mixer came on the scene, and they had all these great ideas, the Sparks, and now they have Microsoft Points and the stickers. Lots of things that Mixer has are just really cool ideas that are very unique to the platform. And it's been really nice to actually see Twitch say, like, oh, okay, you know what? They have some good ideas. Let's
see what we
ramp
can do.
Our game up. Yeah, see what we can.
Yeah. Honestly, I love Embers. And that's not because they're like if you took the money part aside, I think it's a really cool
functionality
thing.
Of the
I think it's a really cool thing that you have these animated like things that are customized that you can put in. You can put a little message in, and they'll go across the screen and drop things in chat. Like, to me, that is so much cooler than bits. Like, so much cooler. I honestly, I think that's what I'm gonna miss the most. Is just kind of
channel
like how
points
neat.
Thing and hype trains really cool too. Like,
the channel points being built into the Twitch chat is huge. So we have a currency right now that's built into our bot, Mix It Up bot, and then you have a store and you can buy things with the channel points. And it's like such a pain. Like, the command for it is like,
buy one thing is ! shop space buy space Destiny space one.
Like,
to buy one
like, people don't know how to even claim them because it's so confusing. And then you're like trying to explain it, and like, so I mean, the fact that we're gonna be able to like be like, yeah, you see that little box in the bottom? That's how many you have. Click it, and then just click what you want. Like,
that's great.
It's gonna be fantastic.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm actually super excited for that. And yeah, just things
Twitch
like hype trains.
The front page is better now. I remember when Mixer created a new like front page carousel and everything, and it was better than Twitch's, and we were like, whoa!
And then Twitch's looked the same afterwards, like a week later. Yeah. So it's kind of cool, right? It's kind of cool to see how it's all gone back and forth, and I definitely think it's all been positive stuff all around. I mean, it's no surprise that there's a lot of controversy around the way that Twitch handles their guidelines. And I think that was probably actually one of the reasons self-consciously that we didn't think about the Switch earlier.
Yeah.
Was we just have believed in what Mixer stands for so long, and kind of looked at the opposite as like, I don't know if they really care about their creators. It's more just about like money. That's kind of the way that it's felt and the way it's been portrayed. But at the end of the day, like,
it's gotta do what's best.
It's gotta be what's best, yeah. And it might not be, we'll see. But I definitely think it's worth a try.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as long as you surround yourself with the right people too.
Exactly.
100%.
That's a big part of it.
100%.
Exactly.
Do you have anything?
Nope.
You look like you were gonna say something.
No.
No, nothing.
Good.
Do you have anything to add? I think I've pretty much touched on most of the points that I wanted to chat about.
Yeah, those are the main things.
Yeah, those are the main things. I basically like why you switched and how you're feeling about it, and we're kind of like literally on the same path right now, so I figured it would be a good time to chat about it.
Well, one other thing that I was thinking about, I was looking at like the difference of categories and like discoverability between Twitch and Mixer, and Twitch does have the tags. You can follow a game category, which is really big, and so like when a game has a really big community, you feel that rally to a certain extent, you know, and I feel like that's harder on Mixer.
Yes.
Like right now, I just switched to Twitch. I've been playing No Man's Sky. It happened by chance that No Man's Sky had a really big update, so people were coming back to it. And I've been topping the category, which is like, talk about validation, right? You made a choice, and then all of a sudden, like, you feel like people are starting to rally around you, and that feels really good. And I feel like, I know variety and content was really important for y'all, and I think in that regard, the Switch is really, really going to be positive.
So I had kind of like overlooked that, and then you started talking about that, and it instantly all came back to me. With the things that I've been playing during the day, specifically, like when I'm by myself, and even some of the stuff that we're looking to play together, because there's less people overall on Mixer, the directories are smaller versus Twitch. So like when you're looking at them side by side, like a lot of the top games are the same on both. But then as it starts to trickle down, you get like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 on Mixer, right? And like you might have like 10, 15, 20, 30 like on Twitch. So I think we're actually going to be in a really good spot for a lot of those games that we're looking to play, because we will be in the top few streams. Like when we swap over. So that's kind of the magic spot for growth, is to be like in a directory that has people in like the top 3 or 4 or 5, like very visible. And I agree. I think it's going to be really cool to be in that spot.
And I'm excited to be able to like look at what games we can play and not feel like if it's not Destiny, we're not going to have a good stream.
Well, I mean, it's not about not having a good stream. It's just kind of about not really getting new people in. Like, the reality is, when I look at, like, where our growth on Mixer has come from, it's come from... We did Fortnite a lot when we first went over. And that wasn't because that was how you gained followers. We actually were enjoying the game at the time. So we played Fortnite, and then we played Destiny. And then I would say the only other game that we've seen, like, actual growth from, where people, like, become regulars, is Breath of the Wild. And that one actually surprised me, because a lot of the times I was the only person in the directory, or there was like one other person, but we actually people just love Zelda and love that game. So people are always looking to watch it. And that's the only other game I think that where we've actually found like solid regulars. And I mean, just like thinking back and looking on it, like, I guess I just wasn't really worried about the not finding growth in the daytime streams, because we were playing Destiny so often that we were like doing okay and finding growth there. But like, why not? Like, I should be worried about that. Like, maximize my time. Like, why am I throwing so much time into these things that I'm getting like nothing out of, you know? And that's what it started to feel like, is our opportunity, like the opportunity is just not there.
Yeah, and it's tough when you feel like you have to continue in one game category because you know it's going to bring you growth, and then that's how you get burnt out on a game.
100%. 100%. That's exactly what it is. And like, for me, I mean, I think that's why I just did the other stuff anyways. I didn't care, because I was like, this is what's keeping me going when I do play Destiny, is the fact that I'm playing these other games. But I'm so excited to stream in directories that have people in them, pretty much regardless of what I'm playing. That's like my biggest, like, I'm super excited for that. And like, it's not a knock on like Mixer. Like, the reality is there's just less people. So those like categories and games that aren't as busy, they just don't have people in them. Like, so that's just the way it is. And I think it's going to be really tough for them to break that. And I know that's a big reason why a lot of people leave and a lot of people are not necessarily looking to come over, is because of that too. So it's hard.
It's kind of it's almost similar to the whole skill creep thing in Destiny. Where the more skilled players there are, then the lesser skilled ones leave, and then it compounds on itself, and then all of a sudden you just have very few people left. Whereas this situation, it's like, if there's less population, then streamers are going to leave, and then if there's less streamers pulling in viewers, then you're going to have the population is going to go down even more.
Just kind of like,
so and as far as like what they could do, I have no clue.
I honestly don't know.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
It's already such a new industry that no one really knows. Like, Twitch just happened to be that one.
Well, they
like,
happened
it
to
could
be
have
like
been
the
anyone
first,
else,
right? It was super exciting when we first heard that like Ninja was coming over, and Shroud, and King Gothalion, and like I was super excited, and I was like, man, like Mixer's making moves. But I guess at the time it like appeared like it would be a big thing, but all it really did was like temporarily bring eyes to the platform, where people were like, oh, and they start talking about Mixer.
Well, see, that's what I thought with the great strength of that move was going to be. Like, I didn't think I knew that the people that they brought over to watch them, it wasn't going to matter. Like, that wasn't going to affect really anything. But what I thought and I had hoped was that it brought a little bit of validation to the platform, which I thought it kind of did. Like, it changed public eye a little bit.
You know what,
like,
I think,
hey, this is a real platform, but then it just didn't take the turn that I was hoping for.
You know what I think it is, though? Like, I think most people invalidated it by just being like that they just paid them lots of money.
Yes, I think that was the, I think kicked them in the teeth.
It kind of kicked them because instead of it being like, wow, like they're choosing to go here, it's like, well, they just paid them a ton of money, so like, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Like,
if you're getting paid salary to stream with a decent amount of money, then why wouldn't you take that offer? You know,
they made the right choice for themselves. 100%.
That was a win for Ninja and Shroud, but as far as the platform, it didn't really do shit. If anything, it probably hurt them more.
It might have.
Like you said,
it's hard to honestly. It's hard to know.
It's hard to tell unless you take a survey of everyone on both platforms, and
it's just unfortunate because we were like pretty stoked about it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it gave Mixer an artificial viewer hump, and then it went down. So now it just looks like Mixer's stats are going down rather than up.
When they're looking at like the quarterlies and stuff, it's like, oh, what happened? Yeah, for sure. I mean, the other thing too is, I think the first platform that offers some sort of like contract, like salary guaranteed, like income for partners, even in like a tiered system or something where like the partners have to hold this many viewers or bring in this, like whatever it is, like something like that is going to make big moves. And I don't entirely know how it would work, but I think that they did something really, really cool with the Sparks. Because it wasn't guaranteed, but I mean, like, it was pretty easy for people to hit the same numbers every week. We were very consistent in what we were hitting, but like, man, they just went too far with like the amounts that people could get.
The fact that you could get $2,000 a week.
Like it was just wild. Like, I would have loved to see that system still in place, but capped at like $100. Or something like, just like some guaranteed like inflow for people, like something that viewers can feel like they're contributing to, because that was the thing, is people loved it. They were like, I don't have money to give you, but I can like sit here and watch your stream, which I want to do anyways,
and give you sparks
and earn this
cool
thing, and if I sub to you I get more sparks, so then I can give you more money. Like,
it's a lot more engaging than watching ads, that's for sure. Which is essentially like the other free way to support people, is to watch ads on the channel, but it's not as fun, it's not as engaging, it's not as fulfilling for the consumer either.
Well, I also think they really messed up with the Ember pricing.
I think they improved it, but
they improved it. It's better now, but I think that was
what I was gonna say is, I believe, I don't know how it works, but I believe Twitch does have contracts right now.
Yes,
I would assume
exclusivity contracts, but I don't know like what the terms are. I don't know if they get paid salary or anything.
To be honest, the first time that I started hearing about them was after Mixer got Ninja.
Yes.
Then I started hearing, oh, Dr. Lupo just signed one. And it was like, okay, so again, this is a competition breeds innovation thing, right? So pretty much everything Mixer does is going to make Twitch a better platform. That's... because Twitch is like, okay, you know what? We have the infrastructure to do 10 times more with this. So let's do it.
I think they can just do things faster.
An epiphany that China, or Twitch is China. They just take other people's ideas and make them cheaper and better. And they have like a larger population than everyone else. They're the same thing. Well, maybe coronavirus came from Twitch.
Definitely.
They transmitted it through the screens.
So that they could grow because everyone would be at home.
Yes! Oh my god! Wow. We figured it out!
Wow.
That was just...
Definitely how it happened.
Okay.
I think
spread news. We need a protest in the streets.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's all positive.
I think so.
You know, I think everybody's trying to be better now and compete with one another as far as platforms, which is really good. I mean, we didn't even talk about YouTube or Facebook, or there's a new one that popped up too.
Yeah, I don't like how you have to look for YouTube gaming streams. It doesn't, I guess it kind of makes sense if they sub to you. If they sub to your channel, they'll see when you go live. But like, how do you grow? I don't understand how you grow on YouTube, and I don't understand how you grow on Facebook.
You know, on YouTube, you have to, if you want to end the stream and start a new stream, it's an entirely new link. It's not like you're on someone's page and you're watching them, they end stream and start a new stream. It's a whole new link.
Wow.
Which I just don't...
So, it almost seems like the only viable way to really watch someone's streams on YouTube is if you're subbed to them and they go live and you have notifications on, because then it's easy. Because it just shows up on your phone, you click it. Yeah. Or you can just go to their channel. But, I don't know. But then... I guess if you have a good YouTube following already, it might be all right.
I think YouTube probably takes a lot more social media awareness.
Yeah, I would think so, unless you already have an audience from somewhere else, or you've been building your YouTube channel for a while. I mean, that's something that we've been trying to do this year, and man, YouTube is like, it's a whole different beast. Like, I don't even...
Well, if you want to talk numbers, YouTube viewers are astronomically larger than Twitch.
Yes,
like, it's next level, but at the same time, that's split between so many different types of content. So many. Like, that's the world's #1 video viewing platform, but it's also split on like the most #1 the highest amount of variety you could imagine, whereas
for sure.
Twitch is mainly gaming. So if you're folks are
or just chatting.
Yeah.
I would say it made me really happy because I was doing a little research before this, and I was looking at like what's featured on Mixer and what's featured on Twitch, right, in the front page. And on Mixer, it's a lot of like, you know, shooters, Minecraft, Fallout, Forza. It's I feel like it's the same thing pretty often.
Pretty much,
But on Twitch, if you go through what's featured, it's like people playing chess.
Yeah.
Some crazy DJ, someone talking about sports, and it's like, I think it's really cool that they are doing so much more to diversify their content.
So
which they can because they have the numbers.
Your Mixer front page should, from what I understand, be like customized to you. So like
it's changed
like, because when I go on like our account, and like Pete goes on like an incognito window on his account or something.
Just the one though.
It's different. Like, it's like different people are featured based on like who you follow, or like the games you follow, or like what. So,
That's cool.
It's cool, but there are people streaming and creating less types of content because everybody is forced to be like what you're saying, Fallout, shooters, Minecraft. Like those are the top directories.
It's kind of like
probably the main reason that you're seeing those.
It's kind of like an echoing chamber.
Yes.
Chamber, really.
It's kind
because
of
if it only displays the content that you like, then that's really all you're gonna watch. You're never gonna be like, oh, this looks. If you see something completely different, like on Twitch, you might be like, oh, what is that? And then all of a sudden you get into this guy who like sings while he plays chess. I don't know. Yeah.
There was a time where like it felt like we could try to contribute to like the growth of different types of like directories, like retro and Switch content and stuff. And like we were kind of trying to do that, but just didn't really feel like it was going anywhere.
No.
Unfortunately. You'd almost have, I mean, it worked with Tarkov. Like there was like a few people that like banded together and I think some people did it for WoW. They were like, listen, like we're gonna like blow this directory up, and they like came together and like did a bunch of it and like it grew. But like you can't, like people shouldn't have to do that.
No.
You know, like I really want to see this content succeed. Like, hey, all my friends, come on, we're just gonna stream that for a bit. Like, I don't know. I feel like we just shouldn't feel like we have to create certain types of content in order to see success. I mean, to a certain extent you do.
Yeah.
Right?
But the more I think about it, the more we talk about it, and the more I think of how many options there are on Twitch. Like you said, like there's so many different types of content that will actually get noticed and people will actually watch on Twitch. And then I think about like looking down browsing the directories of Mixer, and
there's some good music streams.
Yeah.
But there's no really like just chatting is huge on Twitch. Right? I'm like, that's a whole like group of people that literally just like to come and talk. And other things, but they'll come and talk with you, right?
Even this was like 2-3 years ago. I remember when IRL was a thing, before just chatting was even a thing. Before, they just did IRL because they didn't know what else to do. I remember seeing a stream with a guy like picking up garbage in a garbage truck, and he just has his phone and he's just chatting with viewers while he's doing his garbage route. I saw a Japanese farmer doing like this crazy by hand in tiny little planters farming on like a rooftop. Like
as technology gets crazier, you're able to like live stream more types of different things too, because you're not really like stuck to like a room with a computer. So it's definitely neat.
You get like drone camera live streams.
That'd be pretty
kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Maybe that's our ticket to fame.
Yeah, you can go walk around in the wilderness with a drone flying above us.
The drone.
Yeah. My dad watches ethical hacking on Twitch. He watches a guy that plays an accordion on Twitch, and he watches some older dude that gets on and talks about metaphysics.
Nice.
Those are the channels that my dad watches, and I think that is a testament to Twitch and how it can really appeal to absolutely everyone. And I also think that Twitch it provides the opportunity for organic growth.
Yes.
Whereas what you were talking about, where people have to actually boost a category, that's like artificially created. Growth. It's not created by the platform, essentially. And I do think that Mixer will get there eventually. I just don't think it's there yet, and I think Twitch does a really good job of it.
Well, so the other thing I wanted to mention is discoverability. Like one of the main reasons that we were even thinking about switching to Mixer way long ago was we had just come back from a break. We weren't really hadn't put a lot of time back into Twitch, and we were like, if we're going to do it, now's the time. Like discoverability on Mixer is going to be better for starting, right? Because you're hiring directories, there's not as many people, et cetera, whatever. But now you can sort on Twitch, you can sort directories by different things. It's not just viewer numbers. So like that's huge because that wasn't there before. So like I feel like more than ever with the categories and that and just different things, I feel like what's the there's a thing where when you're a viewer you can like share it.
What do you mean?
I don't know. All I know is I was getting like emails saying that like your top referring, you can refer people's streams.
I mean, I've seen that, but I think that's more like who is hosting you and where most of your viewers come from.
Because somebody was saying like make sure you have referring on or something, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I do know that maybe it could be like along the sidebar. There's like people watching whoever recommended channel. I don't know. Anyways, whatever it is, there seems to be all these ways to be discovered now that weren't there when we left. So like I feel like more than ever, discoverability is
for sure
good.
Yeah, those tags are huge.
Yeah, we need to like seriously look into which ones we want to be part of, and I think right now we're just in Destiny because that's all we were streaming.
Yeah.
So I need to fix that. Yeah. But yeah, so our new PC is actually going to be here probably in the next like 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to have to start moving everything over from this one and getting it ready to stream. There's a lot to do today.
Getting it ready for Warzone, right?
Yeah, for Warzone.
Exactly. Yeah. We have to learn how to play on mouse and keyboard first.
I have never played anything other than like Age of Empires, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I've only played WoW. So
it is cross-platform, so you can play on Xbox.
It is downloaded on Xbox.
It's downloaded on Xbox. So like that.
So I think realistically, we
might if we try it, we'll probably try it on Xbox today, and then like play some PC off stream just to.
Also, Valorant. Super excited for Valorant as well. There are like certain games, so I don't know if you've heard of Genshin Impact or Blue Protocol, but those are two games that we're very excited for that are going to be on PC. Genshin Impact, I think you'd really like. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild graphics and stuff, but it's like a RPG,
Final Fantasy
co-op RPG.
And then Blue Protocol is something I'm really excited for because it's more like an MMO.
It's like an anime MMO.
Online. It's like anime MMO.
So that's kind of what like kicked us to like build a PC. It was like, listen, these games look bomb and they're not available on Xbox, so like let's just do it.
That's good. So, that's good. Having a PC is such a great way to experience so many other games. The only tips that I would say if you're trying to play shooters on PC is lower your DPI on your mouse and key bindings. Actually set up your key bindings, and that will make a world of difference.
I tried to play.
I already know I'm not going to be using crouch on shift or control.
Oh my goodness!
I know that.
The default key bindings for Destiny are atrocious.
I use all the default key bindings.
Do you?
On Destiny. They're my favorite.
Was like crouch and slide, and I was like, man, how do you click this at the same time? But I'm used to controllers, so it's probably just me being derpy.
No, I'm the type of person that's very stubborn, and so I'll keep using the default because I'm like, no, I just have to master it. So I end up liking it.
That's fair.
I legit will probably end up looking up like Reddit threads or something on keybinds for games,
and then I'll just follow what he does.
And then I'll tell her what to put. So
that's probably what'll happen.
Realistically,
that's a good idea.
Anyways, where can people find you? I would love to keep speaking.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
We do have to wrap it up because he's going to be here any minute. So where can people find you?
Yeah, so I am on twitch.tv/JadeSilk, and I am on Twitter /JadeSilkTV.
There you go. Check her out. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Bye. Peace.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you guys enjoyed it.
If you want more BxPerience, we live stream regularly at twitch.tv/BxPerience, where we do our best to entertain you and foster an awesome community.
You can find us on Twitter at Babetron_ and Petron_, and on Instagram and YouTube at BabexPete.
You can also find all our content in one place at babexpete.com.
Peace.